easier for developers to use. Similarly, when we started, there was, you can send only 20 invites per application, period, right? No questions asked. The 20 invites stood for the standard of apps as well as the best of apps. Obviously not a great model. If an app is spamming, you won't penalize them. But if an app is not spamming, you want to let them invite probably more people. So Facebook moved to quotas which are based on user response. If users tell me that this app is spamming, Facebook is going to reduce its quota from 20, it's going to go down to 10, to 5, and very quickly to 0. If users are telling Facebook that this app is spamming, right? Which I think is extremely powerful, and I have a slide about that, which is it's an automatically selecting system.
What is the starting quota for this for a new application?
What is the starting quota? I think for notification it starts at about 20. For notifications, but there are quotas for newsfeeds, quotas for notifications, for emails. So all of them are driven by automatic user response. Okay? And so again, while my friends didn't like Facebook Analytics, it's still better than what any other platform gives us. Right? So it at least gets the non-data savvy people started with how your users are using your application. Right, so it has a very powerful and deep API. It has a REST API to it. In people who program in the social network platforms understand the importance of REST APIs, which I took for granted for a long while, with good client libraries. Again, the PHP client library is excellent. There are 3 other libraries that Facebook supports, which are pretty good. But there are a lot of others which have been created by developers. ActionScript, I'm sure, is not a Facebook-supported library, client library, but the developer community is so strong that you tell them that this does not work, it will get fixed, and one of us will put a fix and put it up there. So a lot of contextual integration points, and some of this Nitin went over. So I don't know if this will work, but right. What you see there is what. So you can add a tab to your profile, right? So that's a VRead tab on my profile, which gives you a much more expanded view, which pretty much takes the entire page and shows you what is my VRead profile. It's just a part of my profile, but it's completely owned by VRead, right? And VRead actually on runtime decides what happens there. So what you see there is the publisher box that again is mentioned, wherein I am on Nitin's profile and I want to tell him about this book right there on the profile without going to the VRead app, right? So I can click on that. It will open a mini VRead widget. I can search, I can look at my read, pick a book and say, hey Nitin, how good is this book? Right? So this is how typically a newsfeed looks like. And again, this has gone through good details with this. And that's how the narrow profile box looks like. So Facebook has a bunch of profile views. And again, I think as a company, what they're trying to do is dish out a lot with a lot of configuration options so that users can pick how they want their page to look like. Right? So they have a narrow profile. You can also have a boxes view, which has a different profile. You have a tab, you have a publisher. So on the profile itself, I have 4 to 5 connection points with every application. And any application can use those connection points. I'll tell you the VRead numbers, or learning from VRead numbers, that what Nitin mentioned was insurance for the long term. For us, it has been the single largest source of traffic, which is profile. Right? It was a huge surprise to me and to my product manager, because we, like most of you, expected that it's the feeds which are viral. Right? That's the thing which was done new by Facebook. The other things like profiles existed with MySpace, existed with Orkut. Profiles that existed with GeoCities or probably earlier. Right? So there was nothing new there. But we still got most of our clicks from profiles. And that made us sit back and look at, okay, self-expression is enormous in a social network. What what I want people to think of me is very, very important to people. Right? So if you can create an application which wants people to put up a piece of your application on their profile, they want to showcase that they are love this thing. Right? Their friends are going to come and click on it and become your users. So again, the growth, the virality coefficient for me is probably not very high, but if you can stay on users' profile, it's a lot. Users have trusted you or are saying that really is a part of me. Right? The profile is what defines me, and this is my book part. And they have, again, their API is done very deep. Most other platforms don't have APIs, but if you have the need, you can build applications around events, around photos, around marketplace. All of them have APIs. This is the piece I was talking about, that the checks and balances are automated. So the time it takes for you to develop an app and for it to be live on Facebook is 0. Right? There is a piece where before it shows up in the directory, but the application is functional right away. As soon as the developer decides to make it public, it is functional on Facebook.com. And you can start using it, the newsfeeds will start showing up, your friends can adopt it even before it shows up in the Facebook directory, which, by the time it shows up in Facebook directory, Facebook has actually verified that it follows the basic terms of services. But Facebook can afford to do this because it has automated checks and balances. The moment an application becomes crummy, its quotas of user communication will start dropping drastically. And soon it will not be able to communicate to any users. Right? So there is no manual intervention, it's a self-correcting system, and what this enables is that the limits that are imposed are based on what users have decided. It's not decided by Facebook. Right? It's what users are telling Facebook that this is how much this application should be communicated. So right there, I don't know if some of it is legible, but those are really numbers, requests per day, and you see a boost page number there because VRead is a Facebook verified app. So we get some boost because Facebook trusts us a little more than Facebook trusts some other apps. But those numbers change based on user response. So you are in a particular bucket. So we are 14 out of 16 in notifications, for example. And if we send spammy notifications and more people mark us as I don't want these notifications from me, we'll drop from 14 to 12 to 10 to 9, and soon our number of notifications that we can send will diminish drastically. And we won't be able to spam. Right? So, and I think in terms of a platform, it's important for a platform to be self-healing. Otherwise, there's too much manual intervention required, and which is why Facebook has 350,000 apps, and it's still going strong, while most other application platforms have much fewer apps, or have much longer. I mean, so we pushed our iPhone app for verification, I think it was 2 months back, and it's taken about a month and a half for our app to get verified. Right? I mean, I don't want to say much more, but it takes time. And it takes time because it's manual. Right? If you have an automated system in place, you can let it go, and if something goes wrong, the system will fix itself. It's very, very user-friendly. Right? And it's, as I said, it's very easy to get started. So what you see there, right? So the tools, right? So there are guest consoles for pretty much all integration points. How is this API call going to work? What is this going to return? How is this SVML code going to look like? How is this code going to look in my narrow profile? Going to look in my wide profile? So all of those you can test before you put it in your code. Right? Again, amazing piece of infrastructure which helps developers decide what to put in. And this is a picture of analytics. Again, not completely, not complete in any way, but it tells you things like, okay, for the feeds that we sent, how many owners commented on that feed, or how many visitors commented on that feed. That's data that belongs to Facebook that you would never know. But getting this data back from Facebook helps you realize, are your feeds useful?